I am repeating. Okay. So here the functions of proteins, they are of two types. One is structural and second is dynamic. So what do you mean by structural? So the proteins which are responsible for structure, and that's why they called as a brick and the mortar role. And here they will provide structure as well as strength of the body. So collagen, elastin, these are present in the bones, these are present in the vascular system and some other parts of the body. Again, alpha keratin, it is present in the epidermal tissues which are present in the skin. Then what about the dynamic function? So it has variety of functions. So that variety of functions include, it will act as enzyme, hormones, blood clotting factors, yeah, immunoglobulin, or membrane receptor, storage proteins. Beside this, they will also control genetic materials. For muscle contraction, they are responsible. For respiration, they are responsible, as it is doing most of the functions. So it is called as working horse of cell. Do you understood now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now to elemental, what are the elemental compositions of it? So proteins, they are mostly made up of carbon, then hydrogen, then oxygen, nitrogen, and the sulfur. These are the main components of these proteins. Beside this, it may contain zinc or magnesium or manganese or copper, iodine, iron, phosphorus. These elements, they are also present in this protein. So essential component is the nitrogen in the protein. Okay. So this nitrogen is present 16%. Estimation of nitrogen in the laboratory is used to find out the amount of protein in biological fluid or in the food. Now, proteins, these are the polymers of amino acids. When 20 amino acid, they will link with each other, they will produce one protein molecule. So proteins, they are on complete hydrolysis with the help of concentrated hydrochloric acid. So it will gives rise to L alpha amino acid. So this common property of this is the common property of all the proteins. On hydrolysis, it will gives rise to L alpha amino acids. Therefore, proteins, they are called as polymers of L alpha amino acids. So actually, they are the polymers of amino acid, but on hydrolysis, they will produce L alpha amino acid. That's why they are called as polymers of L alpha amino acid. Do you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So these amino acids, these are nothing but the group of compounds which contain two functional groups are there. One is amino group and second is carboxyl group. So amino group will contain NH2 and the carboxyl group will contain COOH. So here this COOH or COOH, it is acidic in nature, and the NH2, it is basic in nature. General structure of this amino acid, it is termed as alpha amino acid. So here both carboxyl as well as amino group will be present on the same carbon. Okay. तो here दोनों जो है अमाइनो ग्रुप और कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप एक ही कार्बन को जो है तो अटैच होते हैं. ओके. यहाँ पर जो है तो अल्फा कार्बन एटम जो है वो बाइंड करेगा साइड चेन को, और वो जो बाइंड होता है तो उसको हम आर से रिप्रेजेंट करते हैं. तो ये आर जो है तो हम लोगों को अलग अलग प्रोटीन्स में अलग अलग तरह के अमाइनो एसिड्स दिखते हैं, क्योंकि आर यानी जो मिथिल ग्रुप कहा जाता है, तो वो मिथिल ग्रुप जो है वो अलग अलग तरह से प्रेजेंट रहेगा। ठीक है, तो यहाँ पर जो ऑप्टिकल आइसोमर्स है उसके बारे में थोड़ा सा देखते हैं कि इफ कार्बन एटम इट इज अटैच ऑन द 4 डिफरेंट ग्रुप्स, so it will be asymmetric, but here it will exhibit optical isomerism. तो optical isomerism जो है तो वो शो करेगा amino acids, they will have 4 distinct group, that will be R, then H, then C double O, that is acidic group, and the NH3 plus. So they will be held by this alpha carbon. All these amino acids, they have the optical isomers. So structure of L and D amino acids, they are based on the configuration of L and D glyceraldehyde. So that we had already studied. Okay. Now, what is the classification of this amino acid? The classification of amino acid, it is done on basis of structural and the chemical nature, nutritional requirement, metabolic pair, etc. But here we have to study only the classification of amino acids on basis of structure. So each amino acid, they have 3 letters or 1 letter symbols. These symbols, they are commonly represent amino acids in the protein structure. So 20 amino acids found in the protein, which are divided into 7 groups. So what are these groups? So let's see now. The first group is amino acid with the aliphatic side chain. So in this, glycine, alanine, valine, leucine, and isoleucine, these amino acids, they are present in this group. The second group is the amino acids containing hydroxyl group. So amino acid containing hydroxyl group, they consist serine, threonine, then the next one is the cysteine and the methionine. So these are present in these amino acids, they are present in this group. The next group is the, in sulfur containing group, cysteine and the methionine is present. Then acidic amino acids with the amides, with their amides. So they contain aspartic acid, asparagine, glutamic acid, glutamine. These amino acids included in this group. Then basic amino acid, they are the lysine, arginine, histidine, and then aromatic amino acids, they are the phenylalanine, then tyrosine, tryptophan, and the last one is the amino acid, and that amino acid is the proline. So these 20 amino acids, they are categorized like this. Okay. So here we had already seen the structure of all these amino acids. Okay. Now here, the next part which we had seen, that is the structure of protein. So in the structure of protein, we had seen that these proteins, they are categorized into 4 types: primary structure, secondary structure, tertiary structure, and quaternary structure. So primary structure, they will contain linear structure of amino acid, which will form the backbone of proteins. Then secondary structure, that is the special arrangement of protein by twisting, just twisting of polypeptide chain is there. Then tertiary structure, so 3-dimensional structure is there. And quaternary structure, so some of the protein, they are composed of 2 or more polypeptide chains, and they are referred as a subunit. So this special arrangement of this subunit, it is known as the quaternary structure. So like that, we had seen 4 types of structures present in the protein. The term protein, it is used for polypeptides which are contain more than the 50 amino acids. But in this recent year, some authors has using polypeptide when the amino acids they will be uh, in a few hundreds also. The number of amino acids in few hundred will be present in this polypeptide. So they prefer to use protein as a assembly of polypeptide chain with the quaternary structure. So what is the primary structure of proteins? So here, uh, each protein, they has a unique sequence of amino acid, which will determine by the genes contained in the DNA. So the primary structure of protein, it is responsible for its function only. Vast majority of genetic diseases, they are due to abnormalities in the amino acid sequence of protein. That means changes which is associated with the primary structure of protein, it will leads to genetical disorder. So amino acids compositions of protein determine their physical as well as chemical properties. Then we had seen about the peptide bond. What is peptide bond? Amino acids, they are held together in protein by the covalent peptide bond or the linkage. So these bonds, they are strong and they are serve as a cementing material between two amino acids. तो दो amino acids के बीच में जो cementing material है, that is nothing but the peptide bond. Okay, so how this peptide bond is formed? So as we know, this protein or the amino acid contain one amino group and second is the carboxyl group. So when amino group of amino acid, it will combine with the carboxyl group of another amino acid. So here peptide bond will form. So this dipeptide will have two amino acids and one peptide bond only. So peptides containing more than 10 amino acids, they are referred as polypeptides. So what is the characteristic of this peptide bond? The peptide bond, they are rigid, they are planar with the partial double bond in character. It generally consists of or it exists ट्रांस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन. यहाँ पर जो है तो हमको ट्रांस कॉन्फ़िगरेशन देखने के लिए मिलेगा. यहाँ पर जो है तो दोनों जो ग्रुप होते हैं कार्बोक्सिल ग्रुप एंड अमाइनो ग्रुप in these peptide bonds they are polar and they are involved in the hydrogen bond formation. तो हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड का फॉर्मेशन करेंगे, दोनों भी उसमें इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं. So how we write this peptide structure? So conventionally, these peptide chains, they are written with a free end of the means N terminal जो होता है, N terminal residue जो होता है, वो लेफ्ट साइड में रहेगा एंड जो कार्बोक्सिल एंड रहेगा यानी कार्बन वाला जो रहेगा तो दैट विल बी प्रेजेंट ऑन द राइट साइड ऑफ अमाइनो एसिड्स. ठीक है, तो इस तरह से उसको जो है तो लिखा जाता है. उसके बाद में हमने जो है तो एक रिएजेंट के बारे में देखा था, दैट वाज द सैंगर्स रिएजेंट. अब सैंगर यूज्ड 1-fluoro-2,4 डाइनाइट्रोबेंजीन टू डिटरमाइन इंसुलिन स्ट्रक्चर. यहाँ पर जो है तो ये जो 1-fluoro-2,4 डाइनाइट्रोबेंजीन ये जो स्ट्रक्चर है तो that specifically bind with the N-terminal amino acid and that will form dinitrophenyl, which is the derivative of peptide, and this on hydrolysis it will form again dinitrophenyl amino acid. Okay, and it will also form free amino acids from the rest of peptide chain. So this dinitrophenyl amino acid, it can be identified by chromatography also. तो क्रोमेटोग्राफी कलरिंग जो होता है, तो ये उससे जो है तो हम आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं. Sanger's reagent जो है, तो they are having limited use because peptide chain they are hydrolyzed to amino acids. Then second reagent which we had seen, that was the Edmonds reagent. So this Edmonds reagent, it is also called as phenyl thiocyanate. So it is Edmonds reagent. Phenyl isocyanate is the Edmonds reagent. It react with the N terminal of amino acid of this peptide, and they will form phenyl theo carbamyl derivative. On treatment with the some acid, mild acid, so phenyl thiohydantoin amino acid, it is a cyclic compound which get liberated during this time. तो ये भी जो है हम आइडेंटिफाई कर सकते हैं क्रोमेटोग्राफी से. एडमंड्स रिएजेंट जो है, तो that has an advantage since these peptides they can be sequential degraded libering and terminal amino acids one after another, which can be identified. So this is due to the peptide as a whole is not hydrolyzed, but only residue, that is the PTH amino acid. PTH amino acid means phenyl thiohydroin amino acid, that is only released here. Then the next topic which we had seen, that was the sequenator. So it is the automatic machine. Sequenator, it is automatic machine which will determine amino acid sequence in this polypeptide chain. So it is based on principle of Edmonds degradation. Amino acid, they are determined sequentially from N terminal. The here this PTH amino acid, it will liberate. It is identified by high performance liquid chromatography. This sequenator take near about 2 hours to identify or determine each amino acids. Okay. Now the next topic is the overlapping peptides. So it is the determination of primary structure of protein. Several methods, maybe enzymatic or the chemicals, they are simultaneously employed for it. So this result in formation of overlapping peptide. This is due to the specific action because different agents on different sides of this polypeptide chain, they will act, and so we can see different structure. So overlapping peptides, they are very useful in determination of amino acid sequence. Okay, so how the reverse sequencing technique is done? So it is genetic material actually, which are having chemical compositions of DNA, and which is ultimately determine the sequence of amino acid in the polypeptide chain by analyzing nucleotide sequence of DNA. So this nucleotide sequence of DNA, they have a code on. They have a codes for proteins, and it is possible to translate the nucleotide sequence into amino acid sequence. So this technique, it is for generally fail to identify the disulfide bond and the changes that occur in these amino acids. After the protein is synthesized, so there may be some modification takes place, and that's why it will get fails. समझ में आया बेटा यहाँ तक? I'm only revising up now. Do you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Then we had seen about the secondary structure of protein. So secondary structure, the combination of polypeptide chain by twisting or the folding. It is referred as secondary structure that I had already told you. So amino acid, they are located close to each other in the sequence, and two types of secondary structure which we can see, that is the alpha helix and the beta sheet. तो ऐसे दो तरह के स्ट्रक्चर जो है तो हमको आइडेंटिफाई होते हैं। इंडियन साइंटिस्ट ने जो है जिनका नाम था रामचंद्रन, उन्होंने एक सिग्निफिकेंट कंट्रीब्यूशन किया है। ये जो स्पेशल अरेंजमेंट होता है पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन का, उसमें सीक्वेंस कैसा रहेगा उसके बारे में। तो हाउ इज अल्फा हेलिक्स स्ट्रक्चर? तो अल्फा हेलिक्स, it is most common spiral structure of protein. It has a rigid arrangement of polypeptide chain. Alpha helical structure, it was proposed by Pauling, and also it was proposed by Corey scientist. So Pauling and Corey, both they have proposed it, which is regarded as one of the milestone in the biochemistry. जैसे इन्होंने ये डिस्कवर किया तो बायोकेमिस्ट्री में एक जो है तो मिरेकल हो गया था। ठीक है, तो व्हाट आर द साइलेंट फीचर्स ऑफ दिस अल्फा हेलिक्स? तो अल्फा हेलिक्स, इट इज टाइटली पैक्ड कॉइल स्ट्रक्चर। तो इट इज टाइटली पैक्ड कॉइल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ व्हाट? तो इट इज द टाइटली पैक्ड कॉइल स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ अमीनो एसिड which with the side chain extending outward from the central axis. जिसके साइड चेन है तो वो आउटवर्डली प्रेजेंट रहते हैं सेंट्रल एक्सिस के। अल्फा हेलिक्स जो है तो इट इज स्टेबलाइज्ड बाय एक्सटेंसिव हाइड्रोजन बॉन्डिंग। इट इज फॉर्म बिटवीन हाइड्रोजन एटम which is attached to the peptide nitrogen and oxygen atom, it is attached to the carbon. तो यहाँ पर ये ध्यान में रखना कि यहाँ पर हाइड्रोजन जो है तो नाइट्रोजन को और ऑक्सीजन जो है तो वो कार्बन को अटैच होता है। हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड, दे आर मोस्टली वीक बट collectively they are strong to stabilize this helix structure. तो इन जनरल तो हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड जो है तो वो वीक होते हैं, लेकिन जब ये हेलिक्स स्ट्रक्चर फॉर्म होता है तो उसमें बाइंड करने के लिए इसका काफी यूज होता है। थर्ड जो कैरेक्टरिस्टिक फीचर अल्फा हेलिक्स का होता है तो दैट इज द ऑल पेप्टाइड बॉन्ड्स except first and the last peptide chain, they will participate in the hydrogen bonding. Then fourth feature or the characteristic feature is each turn of alpha helix, they contain near about 3.6 amino acids, and they will travel distance 0.54 nanometer. There is space between the each amino acid, and that space is 0.15 nanometer. You have to remember these things. Okay, then alpha helix, it is stable conformation form spontaneously with the lowest energy. Then the next characteristic feature is right-handed alpha helix is more stable than the left-handed helix. यानी अगर इस तरह से है तो वो उसका फेस जिस तरफ है तो उस तरह से वो राइट और लेफ्ट रहेंगे। तो जो राइट हैंडेड हेलिक्स स्ट्रक्चर होता है दैट इज मोर स्टेबल देन द लेफ्ट वन। ठीक है, एंड द लास्ट फीचर इज दिस, certain amino acids, particularly proline amino acid, that disrupt this alpha helix. Large number of acidic or the basic amino acid, they are interfere with this alpha helix structure. So these are the characteristic features of alpha helix. Then what about the beta pleated sheets? So beta pleated sheet, it is second type of structure. It is proposed by again Pauling and Corey. And to beta plated sheets, they are composed of two or more segments of fully extended peptide chains. In these beta sheets, hydrogen bond, they are formed between the neighboring segments of polypeptide chain. तो पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन के जो नेबरिंग सेगमेंट्स होते हैं उसके बीच में हाइड्रोजन बॉन्ड फॉर्म होता है यहाँ पर। ये जो बीटा शीट्स है तो वो पैरेलल भी रहती है या एंटी पैरेलल भी रहती है। तो मैंने बताया था आप लोगों को पैरेलल कैसे रहेगी, एंटी पैरेलल कैसे रहेगी। जब दोनों बिल्कुल एक समान है तो वो पैरेलल हो गया, एंटी पैरेलल में डायरेक्शन चेंज हो जाएगी। ठीक है, तो बीटा प्लेटेड शीट में बी फॉर्म आइदर सेपरेट पॉलीपेप्टाइड चेन, या यहाँ पर जो है तो ये सेपरेट इससे भी फॉर्म हो सकती है या एक ही इससे भी फॉर्म हो सकती है। यहाँ पर अल्फा शीट्स जो है तो वो हमको कहाँ पे सॉरी बीटा शीट्स जो है तो वो कहाँ पर प्रेजेंट होती है। तो मोस्ट ऑफ द प्रोटीन्स दे कंटेन इट, मोस्टली जितने भी प्रोटीन्स हैं तो उसमें ये बीटा प्लेटेड शीट प्रेजेंट होती हैं। अल्फा हेलिक्स और बीटा शीट्स जो है तो ये सेम ही प्रोटीन स्ट्रक्चर में हमको देखने के लिए मिलती हैं। ग्लोबुलर प्रोटीन कंटेन्स बीटा शीट्स and here this beta sheet it will form the core structure। जो मेन स्ट्रक्चर होता है तो वो फॉर्म करने के लिए बीटा प्लेटेड शीट का यूज होता है। ठीक है, तो there are some other types of secondary structure। तो अल्फा एंड बीटा स्ट्रक्चर we had just now described, but the beta bend non repetitive secondary structure, they are also found in these proteins। So this is about secondary structure of protein। Now the next one is the tertiary structure of protein। So here tertiary structure, it is three-dimensional arrangement of protein, and it is compact structure with the hydrophobic side chain which will held interiorly, and hydrophilic group that will present on the surface of this protein molecule। So these type of arrangement they will stabilize this molecule। स्टेबिलिटी प्रोवाइड करने के लिए ये स्ट्रक्चर का यूज होता है। तो हियर टर्शियरी स्ट्रक्चर contain hydrogen bond, disulfide bonds, ionic interaction is there, then hydrophilic interaction is there, van der Waal force they also present in this tertiary structure। Then one term is given, that is the domain। What is domain? Domain, it is used to represent basic unit of the protein structure and function also। So polypeptide with 200 amino acid normally consists of 2 or more than 2 domains। Then the last structure is remain, and that is the quaternary structure of protein। Majority of proteins they are made up of single polypeptide chain, but there are some proteins which consist of 2 or more than 2 polypeptide, which may be identical or they may be unrelated। So such proteins they are called as oligomers, and they possess quaternary structure। So individual polypeptide chains they are known as monomers or the protomers, or they are also called as subunits। And dimer means it will, mono means one, so dimer means it will contain 2 polypeptide chain, and tetramers they will contain 4 polypeptide chains। So there is bond present in this quaternary structure again. So monomeric subunit, they are held by non-covalent bond. They may be hydrogen bond or the hydrophobic interaction or the ionic bond will be there. Then what is the importance of oligometric protein? So oligometric protein, they are responsible for the regulation of metabolism and the cellular function. Then can we give some examples of oligometric protein? So yes, the most important hemoglobin, then aspartate trans carbomylase, lactate dehydrogenase. These are some examples of these oligometric proteins. Do you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understood, beta?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Here we had seen some basic bonds which are present in this protein structure. So they are the covalent and the non-covalent bond. So covalent bond, peptides and disulfide bonds, they are strong bonds in this protein structure. So formation of a peptide bond, uh, they are the disulfide bond. So disulfide bond, it is formed by sulfur hydroxyl group. So sulfur hydroxyl group, they will contain this disulfide bond. Uh, so here cysteine residues will be produced here, and disulfide bond may be formed by single polypeptide also. So single polypeptide chain that will also form disulfide bond, or it may be present between the polypeptides also. So these bond, they will contribute for structural formation or conformation and stability of the protein. तो ये disulfide bond जो है वो responsible रहेगा. What about the non-covalent bonds? तो non-covalent bond hydrogen bond है. So hydrogen bond, they are formed by sharing of hydrogen atom between nitrogen and the carboxyl oxygen. So hydrogen bond, it is weak. I had already told you. And collectively means जब वो collectively रहेगी तो they will be strong. So large number of hydrogen bonds, they will take participation in the contribution of protein structure. The second non-covalent bond is the hydrophobic bond. So non-polar side chain of neutral amino acid, that is termed to the closely associated with each other. So here this bond, it is not true bond actually. Occurrence of hydrophobic force we can observe in the aqueous environment, where we will see this bond. Then third bond जो है, that is the electrostatic bond. So this bond, it is formed by interaction with negative charge and the positive charge. So negative charge, you know, acid. So carboxylic acid group, it contain negative charge, and the amino group contain positive charge. So from this electrostatic bond will be formed. And the last bond, that is the van der Waals force. So van der Waals force, these are the non-covalent association with electrically neutral molecules. जो electrically neutral molecules है, उनके बीच में जो bond बनेगा, so that will be the van der Waals force. So they are formed by electrostatic interaction due to either permanent or the induced dipoles. So these are different bonds which we can see in the protein structure. Do you understood, beta? Do you understood all these things?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. तो जैसे एग्जाम्पल्स है कौन सा बॉन्ड कहाँ पे प्रेजेंट है, ये सारी चीजें जो है तो आप लोगों को ध्यान में रखनी है, बिकॉज एमसीक्यू पैटर्न में जो है तो ऐसे ही कॉम्प्लिकेटेड क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं, तो यू हैव टू प्रिपेयर फॉर इट. ओके, and you keep with you practical copies so that I will give you practical, so you will complete it as soon as possible, and I will show you the video how this experiments perform. Okay.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay beta, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Do you have any difficulty? Listen,
Yes, ma'am.
do you have any difficulty?
Practical related.
हाँ बोलो.
मैम कौन सी बुक लेनी है प्रैक्टिकल के लिए?
बेटे प्रैक्टिकल की कॉपी होती है ना, 1 पेज जो है तो ब्लैंक होता है और 1 पेज जो है तो रोलिंग पेज होता है, मीन्स लाइन वाला होता है, तो वैसे ले लो आप. और बिल्कुल पतली मत लेना, बिकॉज वी हैव टू कंप्लीट नियर अबाउट 7-8 प्रैक्टिकल्स, तो थोड़ी सी मोटी वाली लेना, 200 पेज वाली. ओके. And
Okay.
I will tell you on which page what you have to do. That I will tell you. And I will give the notes and that you have to write it in your practical copy. The sequence, proper sequence and everything, I will send it in the group and you will do it like that. Okay. So thank you. Tomorrow I will continue with this protein, the remaining part of the protein, and then we will revise carbohydrate, after that enzyme and nitric acid. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.